What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I figured I'd make a video on how I make my flat sets for all of you that are getting into it and wanting to know how to do different things. I figured I'd start getting pointers as I learn things. But running the traps this morning, still have a few traps to run, but got up this flat set we caught this last coyote on my last video, and got us a little coon. Good catch in that Duke 550. See that catch circle right here from that coyote, which he probably didn't help it too much, but yeah, it's a good spot for a dog right here. My trap was tripped yesterday, and I'm starting to think that it was this guy, but you can get some pictures of him, get this thing reset, show y'all how to do it, or how I do it, and hopefully it helps some of you guys out there that are trying to get into the trapping game and learning a flat set. Hopefully this will help y'all out, but y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, hope y'all can see everything good. This is where I'm gonna bed my trap right here. But I reset my trap and fired it, made sure it was still firing right, and I put my pipe installation under the pan just to keep stuff from clogging that pan up so the trap won't go off if something steps on it. But what I'm gonna do first, I'm just gonna kind of pull all this grass out of this hole, see what I'm working with. I don't think he messed it up too bad. Now I left my gloves. I usually don't wear these gloves for this. These are usually my lure gloves, but I left them at the house because I'm messing with some drowning sets for beaver right now, and I was playing with some fiberglass rebar. I was using my trap setting gloves for that. I left them at the house. I'm just gonna see if I can get it to bed in there without doing a whole lot to it. Alright. Alright, now what I did was, I had a little bowl here, and this dirt's real soft. We had a lot of rain come through a few days ago, but what I did was I took my hammer and I just hammered down a little spot for these levers right here to make the jaws close. They stick out to the side, so without digging out a spot with the claw, I just tap it in. The dirt's real soft right now. It's easy to do that. Also kind of see where the top of my cable for my anchor is sticking up. It's going to be a problem. I just hammer that down. Now it's not in the way. Make sure that none of these sticks are in the way. Those levers down in that section I just hammered in. Push it in. And I like to give it a little shake. It's not moving at all like that. Now I just push these corners. I'm pushing these corners to make sure if a dog comes and he steps on one of these corners, that trap doesn't move. Now I don't like any movement at all. Just a little bit probably won't hurt anything, but I don't like any movement at all. So what I like to do is take some of this mud and put it under that loose jaw right there. And push it down into that little bit of mud. That should eliminate most all of it. A little bit more. There is no movement in that trap at all. I'll post a different angle of it too, so y'all can get it from exactly how I'm looking at it. I got that trap good embedded in, no wiggle. Push each corner of the jaws and there's no movement. And I like that because the dog comes up and steps on it and the trap tilts, he's either gonna walk off or dig it up. He's probably just gonna walk off, and you're not gonna get him. Now a coon will dig it up. So yeah, if you have a lot of raccoons or fox or whatever, you'll have that problem. But it's good embedded in. So now we'll cover it up. All right, so got the trap bedded. I like to use peat moss. We get a lot of rain here in Louisiana. It doesn't really freeze, but we get a lot of rain, so I won't be making it freeze proof. Seen a lot of guys put soft in the ground and a lot of different stuff. We're using wax dirt and whatnot for that. But we don't really have issues with freezing conditions here that would make me feel like I need to freeze proof my trap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my sifter, set it over. Now I put a good bit of this peat moss on there. I know a lot of people that I've watched they don't like a lot of peat moss. I haven't had any issues with my trap firing due to too much peat moss. So I like to get a good bit in there. Just kind of rub it around, get it inside the jaws. Get a little more. And hopefully y'all can hear me all right. The wind's starting to pick up. So I apologize for that in advance. Yeah, I get a good bit of peat moss on there. And I kind of pack it in. Alright, once I get it kind of packed in, I don't need all that. I'm going to take my sifter and I'm going to go to that field right there and I'm going to grab a little bit of dirt so I can make this look a little more natural. But I like to put my peat moss under my dirt. So if it rains, my trap stays bedded in there firm. I don't show up to my jaws sticking out of the mud or I'll put a trap exposed. That little bit of rain, all it'll do is make that dirt I put on top, that top layer, look even more natural. So I'm gonna go get some more dirt so I can that last little bit of covering up. Alrighty, well I'm back with my dirt. As you can see, you can kind of see my pan right here. I don't really cover it up yet. I just take some of this dirt. I like to go around, get a good bit on there and find my pan again. Then I like to give a little pack around. Just makes it look a little more natural. My pan is still somewhat exposed. I do not cover my pan up until right at the end, and I still don't cover it up a lot. It's just where you can't really even see it, but it's right there. Sprinkle a little bit around. And what I like to do after that, I like to take a little bit of this, just kind of put it around, so if a dog does walk up and he sees this, like, oh, that's kind of fresh, he's gonna look around and see a little bit more of this is fresh. I like to blend it in and make it Because a flat set, you don't want it to be a big eye peel. Get rid of those big clods. Now I'll throw these clods out, the ones that fell out of my sifter. Throw these out. Now I'm going to take some handfuls of grass, some of this dry grass. It looks like this catch circle here. Pull these big sticks out of it. Now a lot of people use scissors. I have used scissors. I like using scissors, but I didn't bring any today. So you can take some of this dry grass like this, just rub it in your hand, and it'll just fall apart in your hand. I'm pretty generous with it. Might even get some more. Getting a lot of wind, so I want to make sure that I have enough on there it doesn't blow off. Once I got that covered up, I'm gonna need a few things. I'm gonna use my stake driver for my anchors, some sheep's wool, and I'm gonna use 3 different types of gland lures in this. If y'all have watched my previous videos, doing it the same exact way as I do most all of them. I did use a food lure in one before and caught a dog. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm kind of stay away from the food scents and calls. I don't want them digging, so. But anyways, what I'm going to use is coyote glands, bobcat, fox, and then I'm going to use fox urine on this set. I have a scent post set not far from here at coyote urine. I want to be a little bit different on each set. Now I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to show y'all with the GoPro, one of the two, after I do this, of these holes, because y'all got a different angle up there. But center of my pan is right here. I'm going to do a hole about 10 o'clock. Not make it huge and make it decent size. That's about how far I went. Not as deep as a dirt hole. And then I'm going to go about 2 o'clock from my pan. Do the same thing. And I'm going to go 6. And I'll get that on the GoPro so y'all can see it from my angle. So if you're looking at your trap, you'll know what I'm looking at and how I'm doing this. Alrighty, so center of my pan is right here. I have a hole here, and you can kind of see it's probably about that wide, maybe a little bit smaller than that. Just big enough that I can cram that sheep's wool in there, because I will be putting sheep's wool with gland in those holes. So 6 o'clock, center of the pan, about 10 o'clock, 10 or 11, and then about 2 o'clock right here. So you can space them out a little bit more. Really probably best put it like right here and right there, but it doesn't matter. You just want, the point of this is when that dog comes up here, he has to reposition his feet multiple different times, so it just amps up your chances of him stepping on that pan. So that's all this is for. Now I will put just like a little backing or something like that, like a little bundle of grass or maybe some sticks. Nothing crazy, because this is a flat set. I want it to look natural. So if I put some sticks here, it's going to look natural because of all these sticks. Yeah, I'm not going to overdo it because it is a flat set. So, but yeah, I'm going to get these gland lures in there. All right, now that the holes are made, I'm going to pull out just a little bit of sheep's wool. Now this right here probably be enough for all of it. I'm not going to overdo it on sheep's wool. Now I'm using sheep's wool for mainly one reason, and that's just to hold my gland lure scent in the hole if it does rain again, or if we get a good bit of rain and a dog comes by, it's not washed out, they can still smell it. So what I'm gonna do first is, this is red fox. I'm gonna take my stick, get about a pea size. Now I get about a pea size amount of this lure. This is a little bit much, but it'll be alright. Put it on that sheep's wool on my stick just like that, and I'll cram it down in one of these holes. And I'll use that same stick to cram it down in the hole as far as that stick will allow me to. And then I'll turn it up, turn my stick up, so the part that I had in my gland lure is sticking up. And then I'll stick it down in that hole. If it breaks, that's fine. And I'll kind of cover it up with some grass. Put a little bit of a backing on it, just so maybe it'll cause them to come around to check it out instead of checking it out from the back. Do the same thing. I'll break another piece off of this sheep's wool. Next will be the bobcat. Same exact thing. Give me a little stick, pea size. Rub it on that sheep's wool. Put it in the hole. Cram it down in there. As far as your stick will let you. And turn your stick around. And push it down in there. So it's kind of sticking up, just extra scent that you have there. And cover it up with some grass. Because you want to look for it. Might even put this little stick here for some backing. Nothing crazy though. Don't overdo it. It's a flat sit. And you don't even have to do that little backing if you don't want to. Caught dogs on flat sets that didn't have any backings. Next be a coyote gland. Same thing, get a stick. Pea size amount on the steel, or on the sheep's wool. I almost said steel wool. On the sheep's wool, put it down in the hole. Turn my stick around, kind of cover it up with some grass. I want it all looking natural. Now there is some scat here from that coyote I caught the other day, so I'll put it kind of on the side. Knock down some of these mounds of grass the coons knocked up. Take some red fox urine. I'm going to put this red fox urine kind of close, a little bit right here. Not going to overdo it though. And a little bit on this side. No matter what direction that dog's coming from, he's going to run into that. Now, on this little area right here, it's kind of funneled in, so I don't think we're going to have an issue with him not knowing this is here. So, yeah, pretty much is a flat sit. I'll pull the GoPro out and show y'all from my point of view one more time, and that'll be it. Alrighty, this is it. Kind of see that sticks out a little bit, but it's not bad. But that's a flat set. This is the center of my pan right here. Lure, sheep's wool. I put the gland lure on the sheep's wool, put it in the hole, and use the same stick that I dug it out with in the hole as well. I just turned it around with the side that I stuck into the jar was pointed up, and then put some dirt around it, put a little grass on top of it, because I want them looking for it. I don't want this just sticking out like, hey, I'm right here. But then I put a little fox shear in here, a little fox shear in right there, but that's it. Pretty concealed. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll have a dog here in the morning, or at some point. It's been kind of slow, catches here and there, but as long as we're getting them off the property, I'm content. But we have 2 more traps to run. I'm not sure if we'll have anything on those. Those 2 locations have been kind of slow. I'm probably about to move some traps around, but oh well. But got a coon today. Hopefully this helps some of y'all out that are wanting to learn how to do flat sets, that are trying to get out there and figure out how to do things. It's a lot of fun. I encourage everybody to go out and do it. Bring your kids, bring your buddies, family. Get people out here doing things in the outdoors, because a lot of this stuff is dying. People don't do it anymore. It's a dying art. Trapping is, and I think everything in outdoors is. But make sure you bring people out here. And once again, I appreciate y'all watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me what y'all think about this stuff. Tell me if there's something y'all want to see. I'm open to any ideas. So until next time, guys, catch y'all in the next one.